Hello my dear students, welcome to SRIC's English tutorial. Today I'll continue with explanation of Act 4 Scene 3. In my last video I have completed till explanation till line number 141, where we see that Brutus and Cassius have become friends again, and Brutus has to some extent said that he was angry, so he has said so many words to Cassius, and they become friends again, and Brutus orders the army generals, that is Lucilius and Titinius, to to order the troops to be ready by that night, and then he has asked Lucius to bring a bowl of wine. So Lucius has gone out inside the tent, only Brutus and Cassius are there, and they are again speaking to each other. Now Cassius says, I did not think you could have been so angry. So he says that I never thought that Brutus you could be so angry and you can speak so harshly with me. Brutus says, oh Cassius, I am sick of many griefs. He is saying, I am struck with, my heart is filled. My heart is swollen. I am filled with so many grief. I am really sad. Cassius, of your philosophy you make no use. It is your philosophy to be strong. That is your thought of life. That is how you take life. You are strong. You make no use, but you are not using that. You are showing your weakness. You are a strong person. You have always shown that kind of, that is the philosophy, or that is the principle, that is the moral of value that you carry, that you carry misfortune, or you tolerate misfortune very silently. If you give place to accidental evils, if you give accidental evils means more difficulties. If you give place more, if you bring in more difficult situation in your life, then it becomes, you are not being very philosophical. If you give in to difficulties, that means if you surrender to your griefs, if you, then only, that only happen by chance, that then only you will be more grieved. So you have to be strong. During any misfortune, you have to be strong. Brutus says, no man bears sorrow better. He says, nobody is as strong as I am during griefs. So no man means no one. No one can rise, no one can be so considerate, no one can tolerate pain as I can. So I am strong. And then he breaks the news that Portia is dead. Portia, his wife, is dead. Then Cassius expresses, he exclaims, he says, Portia. He says, your wife, Brutus, she is dead. Cassius, how escaped I killing when I crossed you so? So he says that, oh my God, you already in your heart was bearing, really having a dagger. You had such a big grief, such a big sorrow in your heart. Then there was a chance. How I escaped. Escaped means escaped. I killing, you could have killed me. Your sorrow was so big, and the way I harshly and rudely I replied you back. When I crossed you so, I made you angry. So there was a high chance that you could have killed me. Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Insupportable means unbearable. Really, it's an unbearable. And touching. Touching means very emotional. It's very emotional loss, because you have lost someone who is so close to you, your wife. Upon what sickness? Upon what sickness? Was she suffering from a sickness? Brutus says, impatient of my absence. She became impatient because, I left my house, I left the country, and day by day she was not getting any information about me day after day. And grief that young Octavius, here grief means she was troubled at the thought, and when she came to know that young Octavius with Mark Antony had made themselves so strong, they have raised an army. Okay, they have raised an army for with her death. Then that when she came to know that when young Octavius, that is Octavius Caesar and Mark Antony, has joined together and raised army, death that tidings came. So along with that, I received two news. One is that Portia is dead, and second is that Mark Antony and Octavius Caesar have joined or has made and formed an alliance. They are jointly raising an army. That tidings came, I came to know. With this she felt distracted. She distracted when Portia came to know about this alliance that has been formed by Octavius Caesar and Mark Antony. She felt distracted, she went mad. She just went mad and her attendants absent. And in the absence of her attendant, that is the one who takes care of her, swallowed fire. Swallowed fire here means burning coal. Portia died by swallowing burning coal. Cassius and died so. Cassius is shocked. Cassius says that she died in this manner. Brutus says, yes, even so. Cassius, oh you immortal gods. Oh you immortal gods. Why he says gods? That she has been punished without any. Portia has taken her life without any fault. So Portia died without any fault. Enter Lucilius with wine and taper. Taper means a candle. Brutus, speak no more of her. Speak no more of her. Please don't mention her name anymore. Give me a bowl of wine. So Brutus wants to drink. He is emotionally charged up. He is very down. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius. I want to bury myself. I want to forget myself, drown myself, all my feelings with the bowl of wine. And then he drinks. Cassius, my heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Noble pledge, pledge of friendship. My heart is thirsty. Fill Lucius. So he says, I am also too emotional. That again, Brutus and Cassius have become friends. Brutus have accepted that he has been too rude, or he has been too hyper. And now I am really happy, and out of that happiness I want to drink. So he says, fill Lucius till the wine overswells the cup. Overflows the cup. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love. So he says that I want to drink too much. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love. I want to consume Brutus's love. So he also drinks. He drinks, then Lucius exits. Now enter Titinius and Messala. Brutus says, come in, Titinius. Welcome, good Messala. Now sit we close about this taper here. He says, come here. Maybe around a table or a place where the candle is kept. And call in question our necessities. And call in mean let us discuss. Discuss our necessities. Our necessities, all important questions. They sit. Now they all sit down, and Cassius. Now Cassius is under the influence of wine. Okay, he is drunk. He says, Portia, thou art gone. So he says, Portia, you are dead. Now Brutus says, no more, I pray you. He says, I request you not to mention her name anymore. Now he turns to Messala. Messala, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, mighty army, a very powerful army. He says that Messala, I have got a news that young Octavius Caesar and Mark Antony has jointly formed an army, bending their expedition. And expedition means, bending means directing. Directing their expedition means the rapid movement, the movement of the troop towards Philippi. This is a place in Macedonia, Macedonian town. So they are approaching us. Brutus and Cassius, they will be going to Philippi. So he's saying they are moving towards us. Messala says, myself have letters to the self-same tenor. So he says, yes, I also too have such letters that carries such news. Self-said tenor. Tenor here means effect. Effect means it is really effective. The news is effective. Brutus, with what addition? Addition means, do you have any other news in addition? Messala, that by proscription. And what is that additional news? Messala gives him some more information. Messala confirms that yes, this information is correct, that an alliance have been formed between Octavius Caesar and Antony. Another important information is that by proscription, proscription means death sentence, and bills of outlawry. Outlawry means exile, banishment. Octavius and Antony and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators. So that, in previous scene where they, Act 4, Scene 1, where they were discussing Antony and Lepidus, these will have death sentence. So this Antony, Octavius and Lepidus, says new triumvirate, have put in 100 senators, those who were there during Caesar's, those who were there during Caesar's death. So those 100 of senators have been put to death. And bills of outlawry. Outlawry means banishment. So here, how many have been put to death? 100 senators. Brutus, there in our letters do not well agree. Do not well agree, he says, then there is a difference in news. Your news differ with the news that I have received. Mine speak of 70 senators that died, by their prescription Caesaro being one. So he says that his letter says 100 senators have been put to death, and my letter says that 70 senators have been put to death, and one of them is Caesaro. So Cassius says Caesaro won. So he says Caesaro is dead. Then Messala confirms the news that yes, Caesaro is dead. And by that order of proscription, execution, and the order of execution had your letters from your wife, my lord. So had you your letters from wife, that means your letters of so many information, has it come from your wife? Brutus says, no, Messala, it is not from my wife. My wife did not inform me all these. Messala, nor nothing in your letters written about her, writ about her, that means the letters that have come to you. Have you received anything about her, any news about her? Brutus says, nothing, Messala, nothing as such. Then Messala says, methink is strange. He says, strange, you have not received it, Brutus. Why ask you? Why ask you? Why you are asking so? Here you ought to her in words. So here you ought means anything. Have you heard about anything in your letter? In your letters, have you got some news about her? Messala says, no, my lord. Now Brutus says, now as you are a Roman, tell me true. Tell me true. A true Roman never lies. A true Roman never hides the truth. So as you are a true Roman, please tell me the truth, Messala. Then like a Roman bear, the truth I tell for certain. So he is saying, okay, like a true Roman bear. Roman bear means a very strong person. I tell you the truth that she is dead. And by strange manner in an unnatural way, as you have come to know in the previous explanation that she has consumed fire and died. So he says that your wife did not have a natural death. It was an unnatural death. Strange manner means unnatural death. Brutus, why farewell, Portia? He says, okay, goodbye. We must die, Messala. We must die. Everyone will die one day, Messala. With meditating that she must die once, I have the patience to endure it now. But the thing is that with meditating means I think, I think that she must die once. Die once means sometimes later. Has she died in a time where I should have patience to bear with strength? I should have the strength to, endure it, Miss Ella. Even so, great men, great losses should endure. So, great losses are like this only when somebody very close, he or she dies. So, great men means in this way only, great men, brave men, they bear it like this. Now, Cassius, have I as much of this in art as you? Have I as much of this? This means the strength. The strength in art. Art means in thought. Really, if I could have so much of my strength in my thought, but yet my nature could not bear it so. So I cannot, bear such close or such heartfelt loss, some personal loss like you. I cannot bear so such personal loss like you, Brutus. Brutus. Well to our work alive, well to our work alive, let us go to work. Let us now think, means our important things are already waiting. We have matter of great importance that needs to be addressed. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently? He says, what do you think? Can we march to the Philippi? And just now, as we have got the news that they are moving towards Philippi, so shall we also start marching towards Philippi? Then Cassius says, I do not think it good. He says it is not a good idea. It is not good idea for us right now to start marching towards Philippi. Brutus says your reason. Your reason means why you are saying no, why you are disagreeing. Cassius says that it is means because it is better that enemies seek us. They don't know where we are. The army and Octavius Caesar Antony, they don't know. The enemy refers to Octavius Caesar and Antony. Let us search. They should search and find us. The enemy seek us, so shall he waste his mean. And by doing this, what will happen? The supplies, all his resource means supplies or resources. Weary, he shall waste. He shall waste. He will spend all his resources. And weary his soldiers. His soldiers will be tired by searching us. Doing himself offense, they will get angry on them. When the soldiers, they are made to search here and there without any particular information, then what will happen? Then the soldiers will be angry on them. Whilst we lying still are full of rest and we are refreshed. Our body is full of energy because we are not struggling. It is they who are struggling and becoming tired when they are searching us. Rest, defense and nimbleness. Nimbleness, we are alert, and defense, our soldier is ready. Our soldier is at rest, so we are more powerful. We will be more powerful than their soldiers who are weak, who will become exhausted, tired because of searching us. Brutus. Good reasons must of force give place to better. So Brutus supports his reason. Brutus says, yes, your reasons are good. Of force means necessarily. Necessarily give place to better. Give place to better, definitely. They are friendly towards. They're really a good suggestion. The people twixt Philippi and this ground. So people, those who are living at Philippi and this ground, that is Sardis in Turkey where they are, do stand in a forced affection. Forced affection, they don't love us. Our soldiers, see the people between Philippi and this ground, they are like they have joined our forces just out of force, not out of friendliness, forced affection, unfriendliness. For they have grudged us contribution. They have grudged us means unwillingly. Contribution, supply of soldiers. They have unwillingly joined our troops. The troops have unwillingly joined our force. Brutus continues, the enemy marching along by them, and enemy marching means the troop of by them shall make a fuller number, come on refreshed, new added and encouraged, from which advantage shall we cut him off? If at Philippi we do face him there, these people at our back. So he says that, so Brutus says that, Brutus supports Cassius, and he says that another point is that as Cassius has said that the while searching us the enemy soldiers will be tired and all their resources in searching us will be exhausted. Now Brutus supports his point and gives another point, that is Brutus supports him, he gives another cause, that is the enemy marching along by them, the enemy those who are marching by them shall make a fuller number up, come on refreshed, and when the enemy from this place, that means from our Sardis, will march towards the Philippi, because they don't have any strong feeling for us, they are not attached to us, so what they can do, they can join, make a fuller number up, they can increase the enemy soldiers by joining, by changing the sides. If they find them better, that they have a better cause, so there is a chance that the enemy soldiers, that our soldiers might join the enemy soldiers, come on refreshed, added new and encouraged. And what will happen? If our people, our soldiers go and join theirs, then they will feel refreshed. They will be newly added, their number of their soldiers will go up and encouraged. The enemy side will feel very encouraged. From which advantage shall we cut him off? We will not give this advantage to our enemy side. If at Philippi we do face them there, these people at our back. So what will happen? We will not give such advantage to our enemies, and if we go and face them, leaving these people behind us. So if we take them, then it's better that we leave these people at Philippi behind us. Cassius, hear me, good brother, hear me, says, listen to me. Brother means, yeah, he addresses Brutus as brother-in-law. Next, Brutus says, under your pardon, you must note besides, you shall please take note. Let me continue. You must note besides, let me continue, that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Utmost of our friends means asked for help. As far as possible, or the friends that are still with us, we have asked for help of our friends. Our legions are brimful. Our legions means armies are brimful. Brimful, we have a huge number of armies, huge number of soldiers, and our cause is ripe. Cause is ripe. The right time has come to march at, to come. The enemy increaseth every day. So this is the right time, moment for us to fight with the right cause. And once again, the enemy increaseth every day. Enemy is gaining strength, increasing every day enemy is gaining strength. We at the height are ready to decline, and we on the other hand, we cannot remain at the height ready to decline. That means we are at now we are at the peak of our strength and ready to decline. We are ready for with the opportunity. We should not miss out this opportunity. We are at the height of prosperity, are ready to decline. We are ready to fight. Brutus continues, there is a tide in the affairs of men. Then there is a tide in the affairs of men. We can, if we can make best use of this, which taken at the flood means, which if we use this, make the use of the best opportunity, leads on to fortune, omitted all the voyage of their life. Then all the voyage of their life, it's like a sailing ship, is bound in shallows and miseries. So Brutus continues, there is a tide in the affairs of men. Tide in the affairs of men, like there is a tide in the sea, in water. Similarly, life of humans goes through high tide and low tide, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. If we go with the tide, when the tides are favorable, then leads on fortune. Fortune, then you become successful in life, you are fortunate. Omitted all the voyage of their life, then omitted all the voyage of their life. And if we omitted, if we miss, omitted means miss, if we miss this opportunity at the voyage of life, is bound in shallows and miseries, then we will be followed by misfortune and difficulty. So, on such a full sea as we are now afloat, so now we are going through high tide. It's a favorable condition, it's a favorable time for us. We must take the current, so we should go with the flow where the current take us. The current of the water, that is high tide, we should take opportunity of this when it serves. When it serves means it's the best force, we are getting the best force, or lose our ventures. Lose our ventures here means or else we have to risk everything. Either we win if we go with the tide, if we take advantage of this current. Otherwise, what will happen? We lose our ventures. Then we have to risk. There is a big risk if we don't make use of this favorable time. And Cassius says, then it is then with you your will go on. Then with your will, then that means it is absolutely, then Brutus, it is your decision. We all alongs ourselves and meet them at Philippi. So fine, it's your decision to meet the enemy at Philippi, not mine, Brutus. The deep of night is crept upon our talk, so the night has fallen. So night has already, it's too late, and we could not understand. We are talking with each other, and nature must obey necessity. Nature must obey necessity. That is our human nature. Nature calls us for sleep, and we should obey that, which we will niggard. Niggard means which we will obviously take. Niggard means satisfy with a little rest. Means half of the night is spent in talking. Now it's a nature's call. It's a human body. We have to respond to it. So niggard means very small. So we'll satisfy it with a little rest. There is no more to say. No more to say means decision is made. Decision is made that we are going to face the army at Philippi. We will also march towards Philippi. We will not sit and rest. We will not sit and rest. You have points. He says, Cassius, that it's a good point, but I think that we should make use of this opportunity. Now Cassius, no more good night. He says, okay, no more discussion on this. Good night. Early tomorrow we will rise, and hence early tomorrow we will rise and leave here. We have to leave and go to Philippi. Early tomorrow we will rise and hence. Now Brutus calls Lucius. Lucius enters. He asks for his gown because he is going to sleep now. Lucius exits. Farewell, good Messala. Good night, Titinius. Noble Cassius. Good night and good repose. Repose means sleep. So he says farewell and good night to everyone. And then Cassius, oh my dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. So Cassius says that it's a bad beginning of the night. Never come such divisions between our souls. It's a bad beginning, that means we have quarreled up at this and that. How badly the evening has begun by quarreling and fighting with each other, blaming each other, accusing each other. Never come such division in future. Let such disparity, let such arguments, such division. Division means such arguments, such accusation, blaming, misunderstandings between our souls, between our hearts. Such we are friends and friends forever. So such misunderstandings or such arguments should not come in between us. Let it not Brutus. Let it not Brutus means at least not with me Brutus. not between Brutus and I. Enter Lucius with the gown, Brutus. Everything is well. So now everything is well. Cassius says, "Good night, my lord," and he says good night. He bids good night to Brutus. Now Brutus says that yes, everything is now well. Now Brutus, "Good night, good brother." Titanus and Messala, they says good night, Lord Brutus. Brutus, "Farewell, everyone." Now all exits except all but means except Brutus and Lucius. "Give me the gown. Where is the instrument?" Now Brutus, everything is sorted out, decision is taken. Now he want Lucius to bring his instrument. So Lucius is able to play some instrument, but what instrument we don't know. Here it is just mentioned as instrument. Lucius, "Here in the tent." He says, "My instrument is in the tent only." So maybe Brutus is having a very light mood and he wants to hear some music. So he ordered, or he wants Lucius to play his instrument. So that's all for today. So this video will be continued as further explanation of Act 4 Scene 3. So, and if you have liked my explanation, please like, share and subscribe my channel, and thanks for watching.